bottom right, yeah.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to the first Prosperous Money Mindset with Carol Ebert and myself, Barbara Badalotti. And gosh, you guys are here. Thank you so much. We are ready to rock and roll with this. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Carol, who I am calling the CPO, the Chief Prosperity Officer. I also was saying, you know, you're the Chief Possibility Officer as well. So give yourself a title, everybody. And Carol, do you want to just share a little bit about yourself?
Sure. And I'm Carol Ebert. I'm a nurse and a wellness practitioner, and I've been in the wellness industry for a long time and really understanding the power of money on your health. So I come from that perspective, is when you are worried and scared and whatever you are in your relationship with money, it can affect your health for sure. My background, as I said, is wellness. I also have a background in starting businesses. I have actually my own wellness business currently. I also started a business which was an assisted living facility for my parents who needed care at the end of life, and I created that for them. I've also been involved in real estate investing for residual income purposes to create rental properties. So I'm familiar with dealing with money, making money, learning the best ways to earn money so that you benefit the best. And I really love residual income because it happens while you're asleep. You know, we like that. And I have one other business, which is I'm aligned with a nutrition company. Barbara and I are both, and that provides residual income as well. So I think that this topic of prosperity and money is really important for all of us, but for me, it's been life experiences that have allowed me to really polish up my skills with it and have learned a lot, have done a lot. So I think I'll be a great resource for you on this journey. So that's Carol Ebert, carolebert.com.
And my name is Barbara Badalotti, and most of you know me. So started alive and well in 1986, not knowing anything about business, and have continued figuring things out as I go. And actually, Carrie was really instrumental in my shift that happened 4 or 5 months ago, and helped me realize that my brain was wired in a way when I was so young that I didn't even know what I was doing that was sabotaging myself, not just in relationships and different things, but also with money. I got it. I woke up. I understood. I forgave myself and others. I really came from compassion, and then I dove in because I'm like, I really want to be able to do and experience more and support people and up-level this planet. And you know what? It's money that is a big part of the game. So anyway, I am really excited to be co-teaching this class with Carol, and thank you all very much for being here. And we are just really curious, and that means you're probably going to have to unmute yourself, but we would love to hear, and I'll just kind of call off so that we don't spend time trying to figure out who's going to talk next. So Karen, I'm going to have you share maybe your name, anything that you want to, and then we'll go to Christina, and then Christina, you're going to pass it off to Thalia, and I'm not sure who else is on the call, but we'll find out in a minute. So Karen.
Hi. So Barbara, you're pretty awesome. And Carol, you sound pretty amazing too. Glad to be here. Money included. So yeah, this sounds like a whole lot of fun. And I'm really grateful to be here. Yeah. Yay.
Yeah. Christina.
Yeah, so my name is Christina Notch, and I am actually an economist. So I guess numbers and money come easily to me. However, not too long ago, a few months ago, I learned about the energy of attraction and discovered that I do have some thought processes that needed to be adjusted. So I'm really excited to be here.
Thank you. Glad you're here. Thank you. Delia.
Hi, I'm Thalia. I'm excited to be here.
And then I don't know who is the 425 area code. Hello? Is there somebody that's on the phone?
Yes, it's Jody. I'm here, but I just can't really talk.
Okay. Hi, Jody. All right. We won't ask you any more questions.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. I just wanted to know. So great. Thank you. There's Jody. Okay. So I'm going to keep the chat box open. So if anybody has anything that they want to share, they certainly can. All right. So
How about Risa?
Yeah, I don't know where Risa went.
I think she's still here.
Risa, are you here?
I'm still here.
Oh,
yeah.
you are. Excellent. Yes, I just saw the scroll. Go ahead.
I'm Risa Suzuki, and yeah, I'm just really excited to be here. And I just took your money quiz, so very excited to hear what this number means.
All right. So one of the things that Carol and I decided is that we just want to hold this space sacred, because anytime that a group, one or more, come together, it amplifies the energy. So when we can all be in a space of honoring one another, not trying to fix one another, supporting one another, feeling comfortable enough to share, and know that we're loved and supported, it's just going to further our growth, especially in this particular sensitive topic that can be for many people. So we just wanted to set these guidelines that you all, as much as possible, commit to the process. And the process is going to have times where things are going to really show up, because you're going to be heightened in your awareness of it. And that it's easy to, the ego or our old pattern want us to stay small and want us to stay safe. And so one of the ways that it does that is it finds ways to kind of, quote, sabotage us. But if you're committed, and then also you have intentions, and you practice the processes that we're going to take you through, and the rituals, and have ceremony. That's why I said, light a candle, wear lipstick, have anything around you that will help to amplify this process. It's going to only serve you and serve all of us. So we just wanted to lay this out, and also the confidentiality. This is recorded. You're going to be able to listen to it. Hopefully you'll hold this sacred as well, and not just be sharing it with everybody, because again, we want to honor anything that we do share and the process, and we want to make sure that you feel comfortable in sharing, because it's confidential. So everybody just like wave, thumbs up, something like, well, yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Great. Awesome. All right. So yes, who did the money quiz? And again, Risa, Charlie, and Jody, I can't see you, so maybe you can just like, I don't know, put something in the chat box. Great. Yes. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about awareness. So from this quiz, there was probably some awareness that came up. Does anybody want to share what that is, or what came up for them? So I'll share. When I did this in 2014, I was reading Kate Northrup, Dr. Christiane Northrup's daughter, Kate Northrup, wrote a wonderful book called Money, a Love Story. There's so many great books out there. That's one of them that we have on the recommended reading list if you haven't read it already. So in that, she has the money quiz. And we have access to it, Carol and I, because we're on her team. So in 2014, when I did this, my score was 28. And now my score is 36. So that was reassuring. And actually now it probably would be even higher maybe, because I did this quiz a couple of months ago when Carol and I were first starting to put this together. So was anybody surprised? And this is the scoring on it, as far as, maybe just having a little bit more. There's no bad score, right? So did anybody have an awareness of of any, not necessarily the score, because it's kind of like weighing yourself, right? Tomorrow could be a different score, but more about what maybe some of those questions brought up in you, whether it was a feeling or something that you maybe hadn't thought about before. Christina, did you do the quiz?
Yeah, I am happy to share something that came up, and that's the one I started working on, and when I saw it here, I'm like, oh yeah, that's where I need work. So that's question 27. Did you find yourself using the phrase, I can't afford that, at least once a week?
Mhm.
So that's where my awareness was like, I was like, yes, that's where I need more work. That's the area where, you know, how we phrase, I know now, I know that how we phrase a budget, a strict budget, what we do with whatever, because everybody has limits, no matter how rich you are, but how we phrase that, I think will be, so I'm looking forward to learn more about that, of shifting the perspective.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Well, I can, go ahead.
Charlie?
I was just trying to pull up the questions again. I just wrote a bunch of numbers with yeses and nos. My score was 24. And I did notice a couple of the questions where, like, I wanted to answer in a way, like, that I want to be, but I was like, that's not actually how it is right now. So yeah, that was interesting.
That's nice, though, that you're already thinking the way you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. Yeah. Anybody else?
This is Risa, and I was going to say, I thought it was really interesting seeing the questions about, do you feel the work you do adds value? Do you like making money? And, do you enjoy what you do for a living? So it was, and then it was, is what you do draining? So those were really interesting. I mean, like, 'cause usually when you take money quizzes, it's usually just kind of like about, numbers and how do you feel about money, but these were kind of different, more about your purpose and, kind of contributing, I guess, to the greater good.
Yes. Yes. So it's all about awareness, and that's what we wanted to devote this week to. We want to encourage you to have a heightened awareness, and those questions might be something to continue to ask yourself. And awareness in everything, awareness in the beliefs that you have, the thoughts, the things that you say, the awareness of your environment, the awareness of what your wallet even looks like. Like, we're going to just really look at all of those things, including the fact that we created money, the awareness that money didn't used to exist. People used bartering. I need my shoe repaired, you're going to give me a chicken. It's like, and then they realize that's not really the most convenient thing. And so then the coins were created, copper and gold, and different coins were created. And that was a symbol that was used to have this bartering have some sort of a system. And then from there it became paper money, and now it's become, everything from money laundering to buying weapons to going on vacation to all kinds of aspects that we require every single day that's called money. So I want you just to take a breath, maybe even close your eyes, and just imagine if money didn't exist. Just take a breath and imagine if money didn't exist, or what would it be like if there was no money? Notice how you feel. Notice what thoughts come up. Keep breathing. Good. Take another nice deep breath. And realize that money does exist in a way, but the concept that there is no money, or you create money, or money is just energy, doesn't really exist, that might be something to become aware of. How does that sit with you? And maybe there won't be so much of a charge around it, knowing that it's just an energy system that we created, just like we created time. So there was no Greenwich time. We created that. So to do first is just really be aware of, like what Christina says, is when you, I think I just got frozen. Can you all see me still? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So Carol, where did Carol go?
Here I am. Can you see me?
Scroll sideways.
Better. Okay. Where are you, Carol?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, but you're not
Yeah.
visual. Okay, go ahead.
Scroll sideways.
Okay.
Carol?
Yes.
Yes. So can you share about the stories?
Yes, I would love to. We all have a money story. That's what's exciting, and to find out that you actually have a money story. And so, and again, I refer back to Kate Northrup's Money Love Story book. I did write my money story based on that book, and I was really surprised what I learned. My example is that when I was growing up as a kid, I didn't get an allowance. So I really never knew how to handle money. And actually, all my friends had allowances, but I didn't. But what I did have was pennies. And what that was, there was a little chest hanging in the kitchen that had a little drawer in the bottom. And whenever my mother went grocery shopping, she would drop all of her change, her penny change, into that drawer. And then I had control over those pennies. That was my money. So what did that tell me? That told me that I'm not worthy of having real money. I just get pennies. I get the cast-offs. And I just have to kind of scrape by when all my other friends had allowances. So that plays out inside of me still today, because it is a deep-seated story that I continue to carry with me, that I'm not worthy of having a lot of money. I'll never be rich. I'll always just get by with whatever I have. That is literally my internal story telling me how to operate. And so when I discovered that story, I said, you're right. You know, this is really not healthy for me. So number one, when it comes to awareness, the fact that I now am aware that I carry that story, when I find it popping in, I can correct it and change the direction or change the story at that moment, because it is so deep-seated that it's always with me. But I am aware, and I think that's why we take time to talk about awareness here, because that's what you've got to reveal for yourself. What is it that holds you back, if it is holding you back from being all that you can be and all that you can achieve and bring that abundance into your life? So that's why we would love to have you write your own stories. Do you have any thoughts, Barbara, that you want to contribute to that?
Yeah, so there's many things that will come up, and this is a really important thing. Carol's going to go through kind of the assignment of what we would suggest. That was actually, again, from Dr. Northrup. And so write as many stories that show up, and then next week we're going to also give you some tools and techniques, and if you have one to share as well, that how you can help the brain to create that new neural pathway, as well as, again, awareness and what is the new story that you want to write. So we'll go through the assignment in just a minute. Okay, does anybody have any stories or questions, or we'll just keep rocking and rolling?
Are we sharing stories now, or that's homework?
That is your homework.
Okay.
However, If you would like to share your story next week, send an email to me and we'll make sure that we include you into the program. All right, cool. So this week's assignment is to write your story, as many as that show up, and they will show up. And Carol, do you have a suggestion as far as, well, let's go ahead. We'll go to the assignment. I'll just have you go ahead and share.
Right. Now, Barbara, have they received the writing assignment, the document, or not yet?
So I just talked to Sarah, my VA, and she's on vacation, and I said, are the items, she said, oh, that's what you wanted. So I'm just going to email them to everybody. They're not, right now, they're not up. So I'll just email them.
So I'll talk you through it. Okay. So what we're going to do is send you a document that you can follow when you're writing your story. It's a procedure that you follow. And where I received that information was from the book by Dr. Christian Northrup. It's called Making Life Easy, which is a great read as well. Who doesn't want to make life easier? So what this is called is proprioceptive writing. Lovely word right there on your screen. I'm glad you put it up there, Barbara. So I'm going to give you the definition of proprioceptive so you can see what we're talking about. And it comes from the Latin word proprius, meaning one's own. And this writing method helps synthesize emotion and imagination, generating authentic insight and catharsis. So you can expect, as you're writing, a catharsis of some sort. That's always an individual thing. So what we'll do is have you write your own story. Now, I don't know if you've done journaling in the past where you literally sit down, start writing, and you just don't stop. You don't put punctuation in, you don't gather your thoughts and wait and think. You just become a vehicle, a writing vehicle. You're not in charge. You're just starting the act of writing and letting it flow out of you, which is actually amazing when you start doing it because it does take on a life of its own and you're just writing. You don't even know where this stuff's coming from half the time, which is very, very interesting. So what we want to have you do is make sure that you allot some time for this. I mean, we expect maybe about 20 minutes it'll take, but I always, as a realist, I would say block out, if you can, an hour on your calendar where you can assemble things that you need, like a stack of paper, a pen or pencil, a candle, kind of set the stage for yourself where you're going to be alone, no distractions, get yourself centered, be ready to move into that activity of writing. And just you start writing and you don't stop for 20 minutes. You can set yourself a little timer and let it flow. And then when you're finished writing, just also add on as a postscript, what feelings came up for me when I was doing this? So jot down what those feelings were. And then if you can, write a little 2 or 3 sentences about what is the result from this for you? What is it that you're taking away from this experience or that you gleaned from all of what you now have written? So it's actually just a beautiful process. And I remember doing this one other time, and it brought up so much stuff. And when you talk about things are going to come up, and I started crying, and I thought, well, where's this coming from? But it just happened. And so expect anything. But the idea is to remain the pen, you're guiding the pen with your hand and it's just doing the writing and you're just kind of sitting back and letting it happen and see what flows. And that's proprioceptive writing.
And then also she mentioned about the music. So apparently the Mozart effect helps the brain waves so that you can access that certain memory of your brain. So also ragas music, which is what's played is Indian. So it's very familiar, especially if you go to yoga classes and so on. So you might want to put on some music and that
And
will
put on music that makes you feel good. Don't put on something that's going to be like, oh my God, that's driving me crazy, but that isn't going to help. So find something that resonates with you, that is relaxing and kind of feeling really good.
and just at least one session, if you will. Just let yourself have at least one session of writing, if not more.
Yep.
So the other thing that we want to do is what you're doing is you are not only heightening your awareness with the memories and your intellect and your feelings and all of your environment, all of that, but you're also stating to the universe that you're really serious about this. And so what we would love for you to do is write down, and this is again another sheet of paper that I will email you, and you're going to write down what your desire is. Something that will stretch you, and it may be something that will take 4 weeks or more, but again, time doesn't really exist. So it could happen more quickly. We just sometimes will say 48 hours or 4 weeks just to get the momentum, the energy going in that direction, because we do have this time thing that we think about. So we're going to be together for 4 weeks, but it's really about your intention. So there's a part of your brain that's logical, that wants to reason it. And we're asking you to suspend that and maybe let the part of the brain and the heart and the universe open to your possibilities. But you still want to write it down, because like Carol said, not typing it, but what Carol was saying, when you write, there's this magical process that happens where you can access things that you can't when you're typing. So anyway, we'll send you the positive statement worksheet, and it will also help you to clue into the languaging you have around it. So be aware of things when you say I'm trying, or I hope, or it's going to. Those things are kind of moving you in a place of always hoping and always trying. So be aware, again, awareness of the language you have around, or the feelings or thoughts that you have around that desire. Like if you have anything like, oh, that's too easy, or oh, that's never going to happen, well, then you might want to either change that desire somewhat, or that's the thing that you want to work on the next several weeks is, wow, look at the thought I have around that. And then we have there's a little bit of sound going on in the background. We also sent the link, or I will send it, to Getting Inside the Vortex. It's Abraham Hicks. It's actually Jerry and Esther Hicks that created it. And there's one on finances. I listen to that one multiple times when I'm driving, when I'm getting ready in the morning. I also listen to Joe Dispenza, and Deepak Chopra has one right now on the manifestation of money or something, or 7 laws of success or something. So I am constantly inundating myself. I'm flooding myself with all of those resources so that I can continue to stay in that flow of abundance and prosperity. So be sure and do as much as you can. The Insight Timer app, I will send you all of the different ones that I love. There's several other ones, I just don't know them, but Insight Timer, you can put the earbuds in and then at night be listening to one of the meditations or guided relaxations that again are about I am prosperous. There's a whole, Kenneth Soares, he has a whole series on the I am. And so it's everything from I am abundance, I am manifestation, morning ones. So again, maybe change out some of the things that you're doing and create some new rituals that put you in that flow of prosperity. And we're just going to constantly give you little tips and tricks and things that you can do. So apply as much as you can. Even if it's one thing, even if you take one thing that you can apply as soon as you get off this call, we would encourage it. So one of the things that I do now is I have on my phone, you know how you can set an alarm? So I set an alarm and then you can label that alarm. Well, I label it with an affirmation. My perfect soulmate clients come to me easily. Money comes to me in greater and greater amounts. Today is a happy day. I love my life. I mean, so I forget about them actually, even though I set them, but at 1:55, that one comes through, and then I have the little chime with it. So that's a little tip that we want. And then also Carol and I are available for coaching, any kind of support. If you guys want to get to know each other, I can open up the email, or I can create a Facebook private page or something. So if you feel like you want to connect with somebody, maybe we can just chat box or unmute right now. If or maybe you can email, why don't you just email me after and just let me know, yes, I'd love to be able to connect with other people. And if I get whatever information I get from everybody, then I'll set that up. Does that sound good? We didn't really think about how we wanted to do that, but okay, good. Excellent. Carol, can you think of anything else on this one?
Well, I'm looking, Jody said in the chat box, are we looking at a money story specifically? And yes, we are looking at, but you know what, I would not want you to just get, like, it only has to be this money story. You could start it out with, this is my first memory about money, and then let it flow from there, so that you don't get locked into just a little box. You know, you just want to really be expansive with your thinking about your money story. Hope that was helpful. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Good, excellent. Anybody have any questions or anything that they want to add, or maybe they have a little tip or trick that they want to share with everybody? And remember, you're all on mute because you put yourselves on mute. I don't see anybody's lips moving. All right. Let's go on to the next one. All right, everybody get your wallet out. Here's your pop quiz. So one of the things that we say to money is, if we respect it, if we take care of it, if we appreciate it. And one of the ways that we demonstrate that is in our wallet. So one of the things that Carol and I would like you to do is this week, or maybe even today, or maybe you don't need to, but if you have a wallet that's pretty tattered and torn, maybe you get a new wallet that shows that things are put together and not falling apart, right? That's part of the symbology. You left your wallet in your yoga bag. Exactly. Well, it's probably oming right now, so it's maybe a good thing. That's good, Jody. The other thing is, you know, do you have a lot of wadded up receipts or credit cards, or is there anything in here that doesn't need to be in your wallet, or is it disheveled? And then the third thing would be to look at how is your actual money, if you have any physical money. So when I have physical money in my wallet, so I'm glad I did this. I didn't prep it either. So I have my ones, and I have my fives, and I have my tens, I have my 20s, and they're all facing in the same direction. They're not like, so they're all facing the same direction. Sometimes they don't, and I have to kind of get them resorted again. So that's one of the things that we want you to do this week as well, is to look at what's going on in your wallet, and realize too that every time you pay for something, you are supporting another person or another cause. And so when you even are giving your money, paying bills, anything like that, that can be a sign of respect, and not just, again, notice, awareness, if you're freaking out about something, or you don't feel like you have enough money, or I don't want to pay this person, or if anything is coming up about when you're giving, see if you can start to move that into like, I'm giving this and it's coming back tenfold, or I'm giving this with love and joy, or I'm giving this because this person did a wonderful service. I mean, when I pay my bills and I say thank you, I always say gladly at the pay to the order of gladly, because I'm glad somebody believes that I'm going to be able to pay my credit card. Like, they entrust that I am a responsible person. I'm grateful, gladly, that I have electricity, that somebody is gifting me with that, and the exchange again is money. So again, just heighten awareness in those little ways. Does anybody have anything to share on that one? I think you just need to go to take another yoga class, Jody. But that's a good example, you know, paying for your yoga class, and what does that bring to you? And sometimes we don't really put much energy into that transaction. We just kind of pay for things, you know, or we just take care of bills. We don't really look at it with this kind of love and respect that it is. So see if that might move a little bit in that direction this week and the rest of your life. So all of this is supposedly going to be in this website. That's the only way I threw the slide up, because I thought it was, and then it's not. So I'm going to go back to this one. Does anybody, before we close, does anybody have any questions or anything? We're going to do our little gratitude movement thing in a minute here, but does anybody have anything else they want to share, or any questions?
Do you have pictures of your loved ones in your wallet?
Does anybody? I love that. It's great. No, but I am manifesting my man, so I think I'm going to put a picture. I think that's a great idea. Oh, I can't wait. I'll show you guys my picture of my guy when I get it.
Okay.
That's good, Christine. Does anybody else have anything? You all are on mute. So, okay.
What was the question?
Do you have anything you want to share before we close?
I think this is really good, useful, helpful information, and I'm just very grateful. So thank you.
Thanks, Risa.
Sorry about my phone. I thought I was on mute. Oops.
Oh, hi, Karen. All right, Carol, are you here?
I am, yes.
So Carol and I are going to take you through our little gratitude movement. So on this, even if we can't see you, if you can see us, we're going to stand up. So if you can stand up, go into that position of standing up. If you can't, you can still do this sitting down. So what you're going to do is just plant your feet into the earth and really come into a place of being grateful for the earth, and breathe in and let the earth fill up your whole body and your spirit. And then you're going to take your hands in Anjali Mudra, or prayer. So your hands just gently press together in front of your heart, and maybe close your eyes and take a breath in through your nostrils. And then when you exhale, just bow down, and then inhale and come back up. And again, you can do this sitting. And we're just going to continue. And as you bow, with every bow, just come into what you're grateful for. We'll take a minute to do that. With reverence, heartfelt gratitude, because we all know that prosperity comes in many different forms, not just money. Take one more bow, maybe bow to yourself. And then when you come to standing, take another breath in through your nostrils. Big exhale out. Open your eyes. Good. Shake it out a little bit. Smile. Jump around. Shake it out. Awesome. All right. Well, great. Call if you need anything, or email. And have a great week. And we will see you same place, same time next week.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us this evening.
Thank you. Thanks, Carol.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank